What did I say? God will always separate men. In what? In the pain they endured. That's why there are certain tears that are precious to God. Tears of obedience. When God said unto Abraham, take your son, thy only son, whom thou lovest, go and kill him. You know what Abraham told his servant? He said, wait here while we go there and yonder, and me and the boy will come back to you. So somehow Abraham knew that God will not kill this boy. But he said even if he chooses, he's going to die. A boy he waited 25 years for. By the time he was taking this boy to that place and was shedding tears and was crying, those tears were precious to God. The tears shed to please him are precious to God. So he held on to the angel. He said, I'm not leaving you unless you bless me. And then the angel said, what is your name? My name is Jacob. Chronologically, his name was searched out, was not found. Alphabetically was searched, was not found. He said, no, you can't be Jacob again. Say, from henceforth your name shall become Israel. For as a man wrestled with God, you have wrestled with God and you have prevailed. How can a man prevail over his creator? And from that day, from a person, a nation was born. So anytime God causes a man to take and possess the gates of his enemies, he fashions that man into another man. He makes the man the different that makes a difference. You think we've always been like this? It was an encounter that made us to start talking. I had the worst complex on the earth. I could not speak before nobody. The same thing that happened to Peter and the rest in Acts of the Apostles chapter 1. And then in Luke 24, the Lord had said, go and then wait till the promise of the Father comes. He didn't give them timeline. There were 500 people that were sent to the upper room. 500. By the time fire came, only 120 were available. 380 had gone back. Because they waited, they didn't see God. They kept praying, they didn't see God. A day passed, they didn't see God. They waited and they didn't see. 380 left. Only 120 still remained. The Bible said in Acts of the Apostles chapter 2 that when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were in one place and in one accord. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind, and cloven of fire sat on their heads. Remember, Peter had gone into hiding. Peter was already hiding. Peter was the one that denied the master in the presence of a little maid. Not a madam, a maid. But when fire came, he stood and then he began to make declarations. Before more than 5,000 men, he said, men and brethren, this Jesus we talk about is the one who came and died, and his power is supreme. He began to speak in languages of places he had not visited, because they spake according to the abilities given to them. So before God could use them as instruments of change, God had to change them from inside out. Nothing conventional can change the earth. So anytime God wants to change a man, he brings the man to where he is. He makes a man to eat the food of angels, and then he makes the man to inherit him and share a part of him. So God donates himself to a man, and that man becomes an agent of change. Terrible in all your ways, glorious in all your ways. And then Peter now began to preach. Say, men and brethren, he began to speak to the people as the Lord had given him utterance. So every change story begins with changed men. Every change story begins with a changed man. It is insanity to do the same thing over and again and expect a different outcome. That's the number one definition of madness.